Hello everyone. In this video, we will see introduction of probability theory. Probability is simply how likely something is to happen. Probability is mathematical framework for representing uncertainty. Whenever there is uncertain outcome, we tend to use probability to represent uncertainty in the problem. We can represent probability in mathematical form like this: favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. For impossible events, value of probability is equal to 0 means an event that has no chance of occurring. For certain events, value of probability is equal to 1 means an event that is sure to occur. There are three approaches to assessing the probability of an uncertain events: priori probability, empirical probability, and subjective probability. Priori probability is related to prior knowledge related to event. Empirical probability, it is based on experimental data, and subjective probability, it is based on combination of an individual's past experience, personal opinion, and analysis of particular situation. Priori probability can be given as number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. Empirical probability can be given by number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of experiments. And here in priori probability and in empirical probability, we assume all outcomes are equally likely. Means any event can occur from the total number of possible outcomes. We will see these approaches one by one. So first is priori probability. To understand priori probability, let us consider an example. A dice is thrown. What is probability of getting any number? So we know this is the dice having 6 faces, and if we throw this dice, we will get any one of the 6 sides. So here if we throw the dice and if we get one number, then probability of getting one number is 1 upon 6, because there are 6 number of sides and on each side there is number. So probability of getting number 1, it is 1 upon 6. So there is only one side having number 1 out of 6 sides. Similarly, for probability of getting number 2, it is also 1 by 6, because out of 6 faces, there is only one face on which there is number 2. So it is 1 by 6. Priori probability is also called as classical probability, and this probability is calculated based on prior knowledge. Let us consider another example to understand the priori probability. When randomly selecting a day from the year 2015, what is probability of the day is in the January? So to find the probability of getting day in the January, it is x divided by t, that is x means number of days in the January. So favorable number of outcomes are number of days in the January month, and total number of outcomes can be any one day from the year 2015. So we know there are 31 days in the January, and in 2015 it is not leap year, so number of days are 365. So probability of getting day in the January, it is 31 divided by 365. Next is complement of probability. In previous slide we have seen probability of selecting day from the January month from the year 2015. Now here let us consider example. When randomly selecting a day from the year 2015, what is the probability the day is not from the January? So it is opposite to previous case. So we have calculated the probability of selecting day from the January, which is 31 divided by 365. Now here we have to calculate the probability of selecting day which is not from the January. So formula for that, it is probability of selecting day which is not from the January, it is equal to 1 minus probability of day in the January. So here probability of getting day from the January month, it is 31 divided by 365. So probability of selecting day which is not from the January is 1 minus 31 divided by 365, which is equal to 334 divided by 365. And here we can represent complement of probability by using this. Here event A means the day is selected from the January, and here probability of A bar means it is complement of event A. So it is equal to 1 minus probability of A. In another way, we can calculate probability of selecting day which is not from the January. It is y upon t. Here y is the number of day except January. So out of 365, if you subtract 31 days which are from the January, so remaining days are the 334. So probability of selecting day except January, it is equal to 334 divided by 365, and here we have calculated by using complement formula. Both are having same value. Now next approach of assessing probability, it is empirical approach. So again consider example of dice. A dice is thrown 10 times and we got 3 times 5 number. So as I explained earlier, empirical probability is based on experimental data. So here we have performed 10 experiments of throwing the dice, and out of this 10, 3 times we have got number 5. So we can calculate the probability of occurrence, that is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of experiments. So here probability of getting number 5 is equal to 3 divided by 10. So here 3 means based on experimental data, if we perform 10 experiments, we will get 5 number 3 times. So probability of getting number 5, it is 3 by 10. So this is called empirical probability. Empirical probability is also called as statistical or relative frequency approach. Let us consider another example to understand empirical probability. Example is like this. Find probability of selecting male taking statistics from the population described in the following table. So here experiments are performed on 439 people, and we asked about whether they will take statistics subject or not. So here out of 439, 229 was male and 210 was female. Out of 229 male, 84 male will take statistics subject and 145 will not take the statistics subject. And out of 210 female, 76 female will take statistics subject and 134 will not select the statistics subject. Now here we have to calculate the probability of male taking statistics subject. So it is number of males taking statistics subject divided by total number of people. So out of 439, 84 male will select the statistics subject. So probability of male taking statistics subject is this 84 divided by 439, which is equal to 0.191. So this is the empirical probability. Now next is subjective probability. So as I explained earlier, subjective probability may differ from person to person. For example, a media development team assigns a 60% probability of success to its new advertisement campaign, and the chief media officer of the company is less optimistic and assigns a 40% of success to the same campaign. So in this way, in subjective probability, value of probability differ from person to person. Media development team will assign probability zero point 0.6 or 60%, and for same team, media officer of the company is assigning 40%, means 0.4 probability. Therefore, the assignment of subjective probability is based on person's experience, opinions, and analysis of the particular situation. Subjective probability is useful in situations when empirical or priori probability cannot be computed. And value of probability always varies between 0 to 1. If value of probability is 0, means it is impossible to occur that event, and if value of probability is 1, then it is sure that event is going to occur. And value of probability 0.5 means there are 50% chance of occurring that particular event. So this is about basics of the probability theory. In next videos we will see how to solve probability problems based on combinations, then different types of probabilities and probability distribution. Thank you.